Love in. Lights out. Love in. Lights out. Love in. Lights out. Love in.
I believe that it's time for us to hold up a vision of the world that we want and to practice that world right where we are. We need more than resistance. We need to reimagine the world to come and live into that world in the space between us. We are building a movement of revolutionary love. This is not a 4-year campaign. This is a 40-year vision to shift culture and consciousness in this country, block by block, heart to heart. Revolutions happen not only in those big, grand public moments. Revolutions happen in the spaces where people are coming together to inhabit a new way of being, a new way of seeing. That's what we're seeing all across this country right now. People daring to be brave with their love. Revolutionary love equips communities across the United States with practical tools for justice, healing, and transformation. And Colorado is one place where that impact is unfolding.
They brought in her book and a bunch of educators chose to read it, and it rocked my world. It spoke to me. I feel like we are a safe container. I want to protect the students who are in the space, regardless of who the students are. What was happening in our world was impacting a lot of our students and our families. We have immigrant families here who were afraid to come to school. And kind of the opposite message of her book of seeing no strangers, I started seeing strangers. I was angry at everybody who wanted to hurt any of the students in the school or any of our families in the school, and without really knowing who they were. And after reading her book, I started having a little bit more grace for these people, but these people who are choosing to cause harm might not understand their stories because they don't know them. Even though I wanted to feel anger and I wanted to feel rage towards those people, they just don't understand these stories. And it's my responsibility to share the story, share the humanity of these young children who are walking to my space every day.
I've had a relationship with the library for a while. They started the One Book, One Boulder campaign, and I always thought that was pretty awesome. For a long time, whenever I read a book, I always tell myself I'm connected to every person who's ever read this book. Maybe I'll never meet them, or maybe I'll encounter them and we'll have a conversation and say, oh yeah, I read that book. So I thought that the intentionality of the Boulder Public Library District to have so many people reading the same book, having conversations, was just an awesome idea in the first place. It was so huge, but over 500 and something people in the community registered for this event. It was packed. We get together and we are in wonder together. The fact that many people registered for that evening and so many people read that book, and that shows that people want a message like this in their lives. They're probably struggling really hard with this message because there's so many things that tell us otherwise. But I think that it just shows that people have it in here somewhere, and they're looking, just like I said, I look for an excuse to love. I think everyone's looking for an excuse to love.
It's shown up on our campus in several different ways. The primary way is through the Revolutionary Love Project group. Typically, and they explore different notions of revolutionary love. So they've read the book together. They've also listened to TED Talks. They've also taken a particular topic and go in depth. And they always weave that in with like some sort of contemplative and embodied practice. And then from that, what's spun off is a care collective. So looking at communal and collective care, but within the revolutionary love framework. Two, sometimes they've had intentional meals and invited other folks in, as well as attending talks and then having conversations within that lens. Their ability to navigate the multitude of relationship dynamics as well as campus dynamics with protests was in particular very moving to watch because it was very different than other groups of students.
In our movement spaces, we're seeing so many activists at risk of burning out, at risk of becoming what we're fighting against. You can only run on the fumes of hostility for so long, we're realizing. And so they're taking up the revolutionary love compass as a way to anchor their fight for justice in love.
It's not enough just to inspire people to the call of revolutionary love. You can listen to an inspiring book or see a film that moves you or listen to a podcast or understand a framework, but not have the courage to practice it or not have the tools to know how. We have not only offered the ethic to people as a practice, but we have seen them in creative ways metabolize their rage and their grief into songs that are now songs as offered to the movement. We know that in that creativity, people are giving themselves a therapy to alchemize the grief of this world and to translate that into a love.
There is some sort of chemical magic that happens when you bring people together in a sacred place just by naming it sacred. And we're trying to create these little pockets of the world as it could be, those spaces in between where you don't have to confront all of the powers that be all at once. You just create something beautiful and let it change from the inside out.
Revolutionary Love is more than a message, it's a practice. We host free gatherings and deliver practical tools like the Revolutionary Love Compass and Learning Hub resources. So educators, faith communities, nonprofits, and local partners on our movement map can carry this work forward.
We are building a movement in this country, all across the United States, inspiring people to practice revolutionary love right where we are, building communities of care. I believe we can practice the world we want in the space between us. And so we're seeing these communities lead with their wonder, be brave with their grief, harness their rage, listen when it's hard, reimagine together, breathe and push, protect their joy. When I look at these communities, I see glimpses of the world waiting to be born.